Hi, I'm Juan Martinez, and this is Hard Work, More Money.
Ask for money and get advice. Ask for advice, get money twice. I'm from the dirty, but that Chico nice. Y'all call it a moment, I call it life.
So it's always great to be here. Bill, it's good to see you here. It's great to see everyone, always. Okay, we're a little lighter today, are we? Is it just me? We're good? Okay, I'm just waiting for the sales force to get going and start making some real sales. Remember I mentioned yesterday, February, March is starting to pick up, right? So how much business are you going to take over the next 2 to 3 months and speeding up the process of doing more sales, talking faster, talking to more people, moving quicker, walking faster, doing more deals, okay? So it is, but this is the most busiest office in the city, okay? So it's great to see that. It's great to see everybody doing business. And I want you guys to never forget that we are in the sales business. You are a salesperson, okay? You're a salesperson. If you look at your license, it says salesperson, right? You're an independent contractor. And your job is to go out and find people who are motivated to sell right now and who are motivated to buy right now, okay? And if you don't do that on a daily basis, you're not going to get paid because you're an independent contractor. You're a salesperson, okay? We're in the sales business. And if you are not at the income that you want to be at, then it's pretty simple. You have to talk to more people somehow, some way. Whatever works for you, whatever style of prospecting that you want to do. And some of you may say, well, you know, I make a lot of calls and I'm not getting the results that I want. Two things that always come to mind, okay? Number one, since you've been here at the company, do you show up every day and do lead generation for 3 to 5 hours every day? And the question is, how consistent are you in doing that? And then the second thing that comes to mind is your skill level, okay? If you're talking to 50 to 100 people a day, but you're not landing any deals, then that tells me that you need to work on your skill level at least 1 to 2 hours every day. One of the offices that has the highest production in the country is a friend of mine, John from the Salt Lake City area. And he requires his agents to do 2 hours a day of script practice, okay? So their skill level is very high. And when the skills are very high, you have a strong desire to go out and generate leads, okay? So if you are doing it, but you're not having the success, you should consider how much time that you spend on building your own skills, okay? So you are 100% responsible for the income that you have. So whatever income that you had last year, you're 100% responsible. Nobody is to blame. We provide the environment, we provide the support, okay? But you must provide the desire to succeed, okay? Do you have that desire? And at what level are you playing at? What level is that desire? Is desire that you have is $50,000, $100,000, $300,000, $500,000, $1 million, and whatever that desire is, then if you're doing everything in here that you're supposed to and you have that strong desire, you're going to get there. It may take a little bit of time, may take a couple of years. John, it may take you, 3 or 4 years to get to $500,000, but it's going to happen, right? But you have to have that desire to do it. There's no reason why you shouldn't be at least, this goes for everybody, at least $100,000 a year minimum, being in the company 12 to 18 months, okay? And a lot of you are proof, of doing that, right? So I want to take a few minutes and just talk about the importance of being in a very powerful, and positive environment, which I believe that we have here. 12 years ago, Elizabeth and I had a lot of challenges in our own environment in the office that we were in, okay? And prospecting wasn't encouraged, okay? Or we were too loud, too aggressive, okay? So that wasn't really encouraged. or we couldn't have the music going to keep the spirits up and keep us motivated to what we're doing, or too many distractions, which was a major problem, too many distractions with non-producing agents, okay, that didn't do any deals, and they would come and try to stop us from being productive, okay? So we decided to create our own environment, okay? I remember that as if it were yesterday. An environment that was inspiring, right? An environment that that is encouraging to go work, right? That was the environment that we were creating. Environment that was empowering for us to prospect, okay? So we created our own environment right here in the next building over, you know, 11 or 12 years ago. We created it, right? We planned it out. We spent a year planning what it would look like. Spent a year where would the location be right to get people to come to us. You know, what would the environment look like? The staff, the people, the stuff that we had on the walls, stuff that would empower us to do what we needed to do. And I'll tell you that that environment became incredibly contagious and incredibly powerful. You know, one person that was there since day one when we opened it was Nestor Salgado, who started there, came fresh in the business, okay? If you look at his work ethics, him showing up every day, you know, 8 to 8:30, never fails, and he's been doing it for 11 years plus, right? It's because of the environment that he was in. Today, we are in the process, okay, of creating an environment similar to what we had, just multiplied by 100, okay? More intense, bigger, stronger. I mean, I look at some of the panels in the stations, you know, also the workstation, yeah, that workstation's 11 or 12 years old. This one's only a year old, but they look identical, right? You know, trying to keep what we had, but multiplying it in a big way. And so we're trying to create an environment that empowers you to work. We're not done yet. We have a long ways to go. We have a long ways to improve our sales meetings, to improve our sales training, to improve the environment. Yes, we have a long ways to go. Are we better than anybody in the city? And the answer is yes. There is no doubt about that. I challenge that to any broker here in the city. We are creating an environment that encourages you to succeed, you know, to make a lot of money, to understand that it's okay to make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. I had a conversation with Leslie on Friday, and then I believe it was yesterday. It's okay to earn $100,000. To start affirming that it's okay to make that type of money and that he deserves it, right? And maybe the first in the family to earn that type of money. So the environment empowering you to succeed in big ways. We're building an environment where the influences are very strong on all of you, okay? Whether it comes from me or it comes from one of you on each other. Let me give you guys some examples of powerful influences here in the office. You have Tony Medina Jr., okay, who's not here at the moment, who's been in the business for 14 months, you know, and for last year, his 12-month period, because he started November, December in 2013, last year he did over $100,000 in gross commissions, okay? So he's an influence on others right there in his area. You know, for one, Maha, who comes to me and says, you know, Tony is such a great influence on me because he works hard. He has, you know, he's on the phones, he's converting leads, he's prospecting, he's putting deals together. It's an influence on me, who's a, you know, Maha's a veteran, to say, he empowers me, you know, if he could do it, I'm going to show up every day, right? Yes. Yes. How about the influence that Tony is on Oscar, right? Oscar coming into the business. He's been in the business for a couple years, right? But here's Oscar, who happened to pick that workstation, who happened to be available, and he's standing there, and he's hearing the person behind him, okay? And he's listening to him, he's watching his movements, right? Somehow, some way, that is an influence on him, right? And the influence was, you know, the influence was that he went to the, you know, productivity retreat, right? Who did he go with? He went with Tony. It was an influence on him. And like I told Oscar, if he focuses and sticks, I told him yesterday, you stick with what I teach you, you stick with the environment, I know that you have what it takes to earn $300,000 plus a year. It's just a matter of time. But you've got to follow the plan. And he has it. I know that he does. I told him that yesterday. See, that's the environment here, right? The environment that he happened to stand there. He's happening to be influenced by somebody who already did it, right? So we shouldn't even be thinking 100,000. We should be thinking 300,000 and how to get you there. You have two of the biggest prospectors here in the office, John Pope and Tina Haugen, okay, who hold each other accountable just by showing up every day, right? You know, just showing up and him being here. I mean, he's the most disciplined and showing up every morning at 7:30. Beats me here at the office, okay? And he's here every day. He's on the phone 5 or 6 hours every day. It is crystal clear that he will get to 75 to 100 deals. It's just a matter of time, right? But the influence that he has on Tina, and then the influence that Tina has on him, and they hold each other accountable without even telling each other, just showing up every day. Because if I don't show up every day, I got to tell him where I was tomorrow, or maybe tell me. See, that's what you call the environment, right? The environment is powerful, and it influences. You have JP, who is not here today, okay? He's excused, but he's in the process of mastering his database, right? So he has a 1,200 database clientele from another business, and now we've been coaching for a year on that database, and he's on track to do 50 plus transactions, right? He'll probably do 50 this year. He'll probably get to 70 or 80 because we're feeding the flywheels we talked about, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Influence others to start working on your database. You know, there's some of you that are veterans in the business that don't call the database, right? We have Guillermo, who has been working on his database and calling, and every 10 or 15 contacts, he produces a buyer or seller, right? He's been in the business for 10 plus years, but he just never made the calls. So I'm pushing him and holding him accountable to do that. So how much does JP influence others to do what they're supposed to do, okay? It's causing others to generate a ton of business, okay? That empowers help you do the same. And that's the environment, okay? How about Noe Raya? He's been door knocking for 3 to 5 hours a day for 10 plus years, okay? How many associates has he influenced within the company? You know, Noe not only door knocked 4 or 5 hours yesterday, but last night when I left at 6:30, 7 o'clock, there he is standing in his suit with his jacket, no shoes on, prospecting away, right? He goes, here, boss, I'm here, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's inspiring, and it empowers others that are in the office, okay? That's the environment. So, Ronald Colunga, okay? 20 years old, correct me if I'm wrong. 21. 90 days in the business with around 30 listings taken, okay? Is this... Did you take the listing? I think you were taking a listing yesterday, today, day before?
They're sending the paperwork, yeah. 1.5 million.
1.5 million. What is the commission on that, if you don't mind me asking?
Don't even say it.
It's a lot of money.
4%.
Okay. It's more than that. That's the environment. So you come in here and you say, hold up here, somebody's been in the business 90 days, takes 30 listings. Oh, by the way, let's not forget that he's a full-time student, 4 classes at UNLV. Okay?
Killing his dad. His dad is suffering over there.
I'm quiet, but I comment.
It's right behind him.
That is the environment, and it's contagious, it's empowering. When you have people, you know, like Danilo, or you have people like Fabian or Nestor who works day in, day out, nonstop. I mean, this guy is here every morning. Nestor's been doing it for 10 or 11 years. You know, we don't get sick. We just work, right? You know, there is no sick days, right? We're independent contractors, but we work hard, and that's built inside of us. What's built inside of you, okay? So no matter what the occasion is, they show up, and they do it for years. That's the work ethic. They are influencing. I mean, I look at Brian Lepore. You know, I know that Nestor is a big influence on him to show up every single day, right? That's an influence on him. So the influence in here is strong. The environment is powerful, okay? And that is our environment here in this office. So let's do everything we can to protect our environment within the company. Let's protect it, okay? Let's always stay positive. Let's always be respectful to one another. Let's always work with integrity, which is critically important. Let's make sure that we are inspiring others to be the best. No matter what type of day you see your associate and your fellow agent having a bad day, lift them up and encourage them, because we're all going to have bad days. Being an inspiration to others, not just here in the office, but to family, to friends, and to influence people to do great and big things, okay? Let's make sure to have fun, okay, while we're doing this. Let's make sure that we have fun in this type of environment. Let's make a lot of money. Let's have fun doing it. Let's empower others. Let's be contagious to others and assist others in growing too. And then when you become a millionaire and you make a lot of money, help others create the same as you did here. So with that, let's make it a powerful week. Have a wonderful week. Have a powerful and productive month. And I want you guys, remember this year is going to be the biggest income year that you'll ever have in your career. So let's not forget that. Let's go to work. Let's double up the production, and let's be powerful. Make it a great week. Thank you.
Ask for money and get advice. Ask for advice, get money twice. I'm from the dirty, but that Chico nice. Y'all call it a moment, I call it life.